Ladies and gentlemen, we've got a very big problem here.
There goes Henry off a big running game against Dallas. Derrick Henry on the run at the 40, at the 30. He will score!
So, when you take a look at Derrick Henry's production over the first 4 weeks of this season, are you guys noticing the trend here?
So is this guy, Derrick Henry, down the sideline to the 1.
They look like they could be something, Mike. They just do.
I mean, week by week, this team has continually looked more and more like the most unstoppable offense in all of football. I mean, just King Henry's numbers would be enough to tell you this.
But this is the strongest statement that they've made thus far in 2024.
I really don't know what the answer is to stopping this offense.
Yeah, with what they're starting to do on the field over these past couple of weeks, Collinsworth might be right. I don't know if there's an answer. But someone who does have an answer is today's sponsor in Mantis Sleep. Now guys, I'm not gonna bullshit you, okay? We've been working with Mantis Sleep for a while now, the creator of the most advanced sleep masks in the entire world. And if I were to tell you that this mask changed my life, even that would probably be an understatement. Like, I've had it for months at this point. You get 100% blackout for deeper sleep, eyelids that are fully adjustable to fit all head sizes, and trust me, it's not just their sound mask with built-in Bluetooth headphones that I've been using, but with other options to choose from, like say their silk mask, for example. They've got masks for just about anyone. And if you guys head over to mantisleep.com to the link in the description and use code FootballDigest at checkout, you will get 10% off your order of any Mantis Sleep products. So guys, do yourself a favor, check out the link down below and get your hands on the best in Mantis Sleep. 545 yards in the last 2 games. And that's not the Baltimore Ravens totals. That's what they've done on the ground alone in this stretch. And those numbers, they're not even the most terrifying part about this.
And a big opening for Justice Hill. The threat of this Ravens offense now very present in their big chunk plays.
Now this 3-headed monster that Baltimore has worked to construct in their backfield, between Lamar Jackson, Derrick Henry, and even Justice Hill, it is unlike anything defenses have ever seen before. And that's not just in terms of the skill, but more so the scheme.
Look at Lamar Jackson and his season totals, and Chris, those rushing yards, they may keep going up as the season goes on.
Now, there's numbers like this, but also there is the unmatched level of unpredictability. Because this team, they'll tell you they're gonna run the football down your throat. It's just the fact that defenses, they don't know how they're gonna do it.
Well, how about when you have Derrick Henry at 250 and Patrick Ricard at fullback at 300 plus out of a spread formation?
Like, Todd Monken is confusing the hell out of defensive coordinators. Against Buffalo specifically, Baltimore only had 3 split out wide receivers for 1/3 of their offensive snaps in this game. They were even running damn near jumbo packages for another 1/3 of this game, and yet they still finished with a yards per carry average that you feel like you'd only see in a video game.
Derrick got up to 21.2 miles per hour. We get full speed here. We get a ton of yardage.
Ronnie Stanley with a great block, Henry on the outside.
And I mean, more than anything, you see that success due to the simple use of concepts like offensive misdirection. And that's not just in terms of what it does for the ground game, but even the air attack right alongside it.
So much of this offense is, can we get people going in different directions? So if you're playing inside linebacker here, who are you chasing? You don't know who to look for.
Like, just look at the production of Lamar Jackson through the air over the past couple of weeks. The numbers, sure, they are minimal, but he has been the most efficient quarterback in football throughout that time span. And when teams start loading the box because they're absolutely terrified of your run game, it also makes this air attack unlike any other in football. Now, what's funny about this is that even when you're discussing Baltimore's pass game, the conversation still begins with the utilization of the running backs. I mean, just look at the target share against the Bills for an example. Justice Hill and Derrick Henry were the leading receivers in this game, and Derrick Henry even found the end zone for the first time in half a decade.
He'll throw it to Henry. Touchdown number 2 for number 22. First touchdown grab since 2019.
And this specifically is where Todd Monken makes the difference for this team. Like, Justice Hill is arguably the best receiving back in football right now. Derrick Henry is on pace to have his best season of his career in this regard. And while I know that some people out there are going to try to spin this to say, I don't know, make fun of Lamar Jackson's career low average depth of target in the process.
But you have to try and throw Lamar off. You have to try to get Lamar to make a big mistake. You can't sit back.
But I mean, look at as simple of a factor as, say, the spacing and gaps in coverage it is creating for this team. Zay Flowers and even Isaiah Likely are two of the top receivers in football in terms of created separation per route ran.
You got to stop Derrick Henry first, so once you establish Henry's presence, and everything else just opens up.
Then, even when you're talking about how this helps them thrive in the short game, look at what factors like, say, their speed also does to extend the field.
Credit to Zay Flowers on a speed clear out to get everybody out of the way, but Isaiah Likely.
Honestly, it really doesn't matter where you look with this team, because despite them seeing the success that they've had, even with the mound of penalties they've obtained in the process, I mean, you could argue that all of this starts with the offensive line. Both in the manners of run and pass blocking this season, they've become a top 3 unit in the league.
Sort of a makeshift offensive line here. The minute you go empty, you have to go cover those guys.
And while things like the yards per carry will pretty clearly tell you what it does for the run game, you can also flip that conversation into what it's doing for Lamar Jackson. His blitz rate is the lowest it has been in his entire career up to this point. You can say the exact same thing regarding his pressure percentage. And simply put, by forcing defenses to play a game of pick your poison.
2nd and 8, the Bills bring 4. Jackson scans, complete to Rashod Bateman to the 35-yard line. Every place they look, they're connecting here tonight.
I feel pretty confident in saying that this is an offensive identity that either Lamar Jackson or Derrick Henry have never had before. And while the run game more than anything is obviously thriving because of that, what about everything else with this team? Like, say, will the pass game only continue to improve? Will John Harbaugh find a way to get Mark Andrews more involved? And hell, even in terms of what we've seen from this team's defense, more than anything, I want to hear what you have to say about this. So please, let me know what you have to say in the comments. Subscribe to never miss another video here. I appreciate y'all more than anything, and I will see you guys in the next video.